First thing I have to ask you, are you a believer? Do you believe in paranormal activity?
Actually, I've seen some shit.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask you to share your findings with us.
I haven't physically been able to record any of it, though, so I can't really do much of that.
I mean, you're just verbally share your findings with us.
Yeah, I can. Just where is that place at, though?
Tell them about the history of this house.
Oh, right.
Tell them what we're going there to see.
Well, this place is called the Groden Mansion, also known as the Trevose Manor.
And around this time, how many years ago?
This place was built in the late 1600s.
Yeah, but when did that? The tragedy.
Well, there have been many deaths in and around the property.
Wasn't there a mass suicide around this time? How many years ago was it? 200 years ago, 1800s.
It was that was around that was in the 1700s and early 1800s when
what happened? The mass suicides and the
it wasn't really a mass suicide. It was just more or less.
It wasn't a cult, was it?
No. I mean, there have been many. There could have been
cult-like
deaths there were a few deaths. It's not like a crazy, that we're not picking a place here. You might have the wrong idea. This isn't a, like some we're like, oh, it must be haunted because there was a mass suicide here. It's more or less the history and the land that it was built on.
Oh.
And there are deaths that are there are documented deaths in this building, but besides that, there are many places like this, of course, in and around the U.S.
Yeah,
we've picked this location partly because this is accessible. Not all of these, haunted locations you can just walk right in. Now, so we picked this location because Tolly, he lives in Pennsylvania, and I live in Ohio, Northeast Ohio.
And I'm in North Carolina, so.
Well.
And that's what we're trying to do, is bring everyone who, well, let's just say, understands these things. Because I don't think a lot of people understand that there's documented proof that you can. And now people might say just because you don't have a recording that you're full of shit, but your eyes record things to your brain. And that is good enough proof as anything else that you can prove in this world, is that you saw it and it's true. And so we know that this is a fact, and we want to capture our experiences. And the thing is, since we can't all travel obviously across the country, we can connect over the internet like this and experience it through each other. So in this location, we can share our experiences because it's a location that we can easily travel to. And there's probably plenty around your area, and as well as Kyle's.
There are actually a bunch of them. There's actually one in downtown somewhere by me that has shit.
Now, how would you feel about being part of a paranormal investigation unit?
Shit, I'd be good with that.
Now, this isn't something to be taken lightly.
No, I'm not even trying to do that. I'm just saying I'd be down to do it.
This manor was. It's disputed, but it is claimed that this is the outside of this building is where Benjamin Franklin performed his famous kite flying experiment, where he was out to prove that lightning was the same as static electricity. Now, I haven't ever heard this. I've never really heard anybody draw this conclusion, which I'm about to say, from that account, but I think that Benjamin Franklin picked this location because it is a very the electromagnetic field in and around this area is much stronger than most other locations in Pennsylvania.
Benjamin Franklin, it's very well known that he was a scientist in the most curious of ways, and that he wouldn't have ruled out anything. And I think that if he traced back, he might have been onto something that is not obvious to us, because we haven't explored the land, we haven't scoped it. We didn't know the immediate history that he was privy to, and he was just clearly a great man, somebody who was very, very aware of the universe around him and how it interconnected. And I think we could learn a lot from the location he's
right. And
there's got to be
it's documented that George Washington and John Adams have stayed at this mansion. That's a documented fact. So the history here is astounding. I mean, we couldn't have picked a better location that we can actually get into.
And now a lot of places aren't really that accessible that are like this.
No.
Now you may be thinking, how have we gained the trust of the current owners of this building? And it's pretty simple. It happened just like this. I reached out to them and I said, can we pay you to spend the night here? We're not, I gave him a resume, a little resume of both Tolly and I, and we're both very,
we're active.
We're just a couple of gentlemen, really, and they can see that, and we talked to them on the phone in a group call, and we're going to be paying $150 to spend the night there, and we it's about as simple as that. I mean, it's nothing crazy. And what we're going to do, and this is our big plan. Now we've heard about all the techniques, and we've seen them in action and all that, this and that, and what we're going to be doing, and this has never been done before. It's been done sort of in other ways, but we're going to try a completely new technique here, which is we're going to take our laptops, and the third laptop we're going to place in a room somewhere in the building, and we're going to have Discord installed on it, and what we're going to do with that laptop is have an account specifically created for this experiment. We're going to have that account logged in. We're going to be in a group chat, and we're going to be in a different room. I'm going to be in a room. Tolly's going to be in another room. We're going to kind of like triangulate ourselves, so we can best
generate ourselves. Yeah, we don't really have enough for a triangle, but that's what the third laptop's for, and we kind of want you to be that third point on the triangle.
Yeah,
you're sort of like 3.5. Like you and the other kind of like 3 or like kind of like 3 to 3.5.
Because you will be seeing a recording, like a transmission, but you won't be there live, so you won't be able to move around, but we will put it in like the best location to be.
I'd essentially be in like a nerve center. Essentially, what you're saying, what you
would be, and you would communicate back to us what you see, and you'd be our third eye, basically, in this trial.
Not saying that, I'm entirely safe, because there is shit that can happen while I'm even there myself.
So basically, the third laptop will be positioned somewhere far enough away.
In a static position, because we won't be able to. It'll just be basically you'll basically see a room feed, and you'll communicate to us what you see there, because we're hoping that our presence sort of stirs up the house, and while they might not present themselves in the rooms we're in, and we might be moving around somewhat, but we're also going to remain stationary quite a bit as well, because I think it's better to be aware of our surroundings than to be moving through them. Once we enter, we like to think of it as entering sort of an ocean. Like we feel like we got to move very slowly, because it's very easy to detect presence in water, and it's like we're dealing with sharks here. We're dealing with beings that have been here a very long time and have developed a very acute way of dealing with trespassers, and we gotta protect ourselves.
And there's also a very good chance that they could show up where I'm at as well.
And that is what we're hoping, is that they appear,
get it physically there.
If we can sort of push them into your path, so they don't, so they're going to be scared of us, at first before we're not going to stay there long, because we know that the longer you stay there, the more power they can gain over you. That's just a fact.
We're staying there until the sun comes
longer.
up.
If we don't go,
spirits are there, like the ones that I can't, like malevolent ones that don't want to hurt people, kind of stuff. Like which ones do you know?
We don't know. Maybe
we won't know until we go there. At least
we need to protect ourselves first and foremost, because if we go in there thinking that it's going to be Casper the Friendly Ghost, and 6 hours later our minds are twisted, I'm not signing up for that. So hopefully we can sort of push them in your direction. And you're the most important part of this all, I would say. I'd say we couldn't do this without you. See, we're going to be recording we're going to be recording personal footage and what we see. And then we're going to have a third camera set up, basically, that we're not going to have control over. It's just going to be in a room is taking in as much as it can. And we need you to watch that and communicate to us if anything happens. If you see anything suspicious, then maybe we just need you to watch that.
Okay, so we haven't actually explained what we're doing, what the big plan is. I mean, we're going to have the laptop stationed in the room. We're going to have a very professional. We haven't purchased this microphone yet because we're going to be purchasing a professional grade microphone. Quite expensive, but it's worth it. And now the laptop will be stationary in the room, of course, and this microphone will be set up there next to the laptop. And what we're going to do is have the speaker on. We're going to have the laptop speaker at pretty, maxed out. It's not going to sound distorted or anything. It's going to be maxed out. And we're going to use Discord as the tool that we're to communicate with. Now the account is logged in, and it's part of our call. It's logged in on that laptop, and we're going to we're going to speak to the spirits that possibly are there. We're not going to claim we think that we're going to get any responses. I have a theory. We're here to be as scientific about it as possible. I mean, to our best of our ability. I mean,
I've been practicing this yoga that I think can draw them out, and I've tested it in places with less attunement. And I think here, we're really going to see some results.
Right, you can be doing that in your area. You can be at peace, and
I really think this is going to be the one.
Clear your mind, show that you are full of energy. This will fill you with energy, and that is something there is no hard evidence. There is very strong evidence for the spirit world being able to feed off of your energy. And by doing this in the room, you will fill your body with so much energy that you're just going to be. I mean, you're like a buffet. You're a buffet of energy, basically.
And not even in some cases as well, the energy they get off if you can help them manifest, so you can actually physically see them.
I mean, the thing is, I think Tully has practiced this, and the problem here is that he practiced this technique where he's in a state with his arms kind of like. Sort of his body's contorted in a way, but he's at peace and he's calm and he's feeling very free and very.
Imagine a jellyfish,
but the problem
sitting on a rock,
right? Kind of like that. I mean, sort of like that, but the problem. This is what I'm getting at right now. The problem is that he practiced this for a while, but what he didn't realize is that the whole time he was practicing it with his eyes closed, and now that's the problem. That he cannot sit there with he's going to be sitting there with his eyes closed because that's what he's practicing. I've learned
to keep my eyes half open.
Oh, really?
I think this is going to be good for me.
Well, we'll have a camera. That's what I was going to, the end all backup is to have a camera facing both the doorway and the window of the room he's going to be in, unless you end up in the basement. In that case, we're going to probably face the camera towards the stairwell and also towards the back wall, the elongated room and back towards the back wall where you're probably going to be at. Now, I'm going to be on the first floor. I'm not sure where, I'm going to have my laptop there. It's going to be a simple setup. It's not going to be, I've seen so many different investigative groups go around, and I'm not even thinking about the ones that are on television. I mean, I've heard of, there's so much that they've tried. So much has been tried. And, in the end, I seem to always see a little
physical.
Either. Yeah. I mean, this is a new technique. I have never heard of somebody using Discord as the tool.
I mean, this is just, you got to keep up with technology, even in things of the spirit, even in the spiritual world.
So what this account log into that laptop, and we're going to just communicate. We're going to communicate through the laptop.
They become ghosts.
What was that?
You think they get to keep their phones when they die?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I think it's almost a part of their body. 24.
Yeah, like because you've seen ghosts with canes, right?
You see them with hats, top hats.
Yeah,
you can see them with a bunch of things that they left with.
Cloaks. Who knows? But that's basically it. I mean, we got to kind of wrap it. We're gonna, and there's not much more to say. I mean, that's the whole point here. We're gonna be on Discord, and we're going to be speaking through that laptop. Oh, I'm gonna sit here, for example. I'm gonna say, like, is there anyone here? And if you were in the room, you would hear that through the laptop speaker. And we're gonna just listen in with our. I have pretty good headphones here. I have some studio quality headphones, and I'm gonna be holding them closer to my head with my hand pushing against each ear.
I mean, sometimes there's even a chance you hear it with your own ears as well, and not even through technology.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but here I might have one off one ear and one on the other ear. That's what I probably.
You tapped into the dream. You tapped into the dream right there. Is that we want it to be heard by many ears, and the dream, at least in my eyes, is a network of people who just want to prove the truth, and you can't do that alone.
Right. The more, the merrier. We're getting into the holiday season, and I feel like the festivities, the festive nature, will just people will be a bit peppier, and we probably will be a bit ourselves, and we're going to bring
energy levels that we're drawing off are going to be higher.
Combining that with your techniques and my
to draw it out. I mean, I think we're really going to see results here. I mean, you can't really describe them, and I don't feel comfortable showing them because then they lose. They can see that, they can use that against me. I mean,
we also plan at some point
to avoid mirrors and reflections during these times.
Right,
absolutely.
We also plan to play some holiday music at one point, just to see if that will draw out anything or anyone. I've heard accounts of, the kid playing his heavy rock and in his room in a location that is said to be haunted, and the ghost of an older man hates that, and he'll come in and he'll knock the speaker right off of the dresser and turn it off when it plays. If you leave the room with it playing, you'll come back and it's been turned off or turned down to nearly zero, and you don't know what that could bring out. You don't know. You think that, like, these spirits they come from another time, another. They're basically they come from a completely different culture, and
that is what a lot of
this
think.
Music could completely enrage them, and an enraged spirit, is that something that I want to deal with?
What I did have to ask, whenever it does come to a point when we do it in my area, how would we do that? Like, how would that get set up?
Well, do you have a phone that can?
I do, yeah.
Broadcast live footage.
Yeah, I do.
Well, that's how we would do it. We would be your second eyes and ears as you explored the ghostly unknowns. Like, I want a network of warriors, basically. People who are willing to go out and just ask the question and find out the truth.
There's one that I've been to before that is in the downtown portion of my city when I was younger. I know that place is haunted. Where I'm at, about 20 minutes.
Could you get there and do something like this?
It depends. I know it's haunted, but I don't remember how much. Because I went there when I was younger, and took like a tour around it. And
Well,
I know I saw
when you were younger, so it's probably only gotten more haunted as the.
I've seen like the eyes on pictures and shit move and all that other stuff too.
How long ago was that?
I was in 8-9 years ago.
That's. I mean, I'm going to take your word about of those accounts that you had where you saw eyes move on these pictures. I haven't yet to see
to get an update.
Actually, the last I heard of an experience, last I've heard of a account similar to yours was probably, I think there was actually a documented case of this where they filmed something was filmed, a picture on a table was filmed blinking, I think. I don't remember. It's a foggy memory, but I've heard of this before.
Would you be willing to return to what is it exactly? This haunted place near you?
What I'm really hoping to get out of it. Now, you mentioned like live streaming this, and I don't know about that. I think it's better to take what you get, the video, the audio, and edit it together, not in a deceiving way. You need to edit this stuff together. We're not out to deceive.
Yeah, well, of course we need the raw footage first.
Yeah, so this play, it's called the, I'll just link it to you. It's called the Bergwin Wright House. It's in downtown Wilmington, in my state. Because what I'm seeing, I remember seeing pictures and shit, like, the eyes blinking on it. But I know from what I know people have mentioned it, but they've seen people walking past doorways and heavy footsteps and mess like that.
Well, the manor that we're going to be going to, there are reports of Benjamin Franklin's ghost appearing during thunderstorms. There are also reports of, I believe, yelling, sounds of battle around the property. These are the things that we're hoping to. I don't know if we're going to see. I would love to see that, but chances we don't
are
expect to see the ghost of Benjamin
chances
Franklin.
are.
Let's be honest here. We're not expecting to see that.
You'd have to have a really. I don't know. You have to really do something special, I think, to see that.
There's also a plant. I didn't even know there was a plantation in my area. Shit.
Probably a hotbed, most likely.
Yeah, I would try to go to as many of these places as you can. If you can do it safely, because the first rule of and I don't even know what to call our little club yet, because it's just beginning. This is like the beginning of a league of explorers.
I mean, that's a little bit corny, a name like that.
It is, and I'm not suggesting it as the name, but I'm telling you that's what this is, and I'm just I'm romanticizing it a little bit, and I'm not saying that needs to be. I'm not saying we need to even come up with a name, but it's hard to talk about this thing because we don't have a name. So we're just a group of people who are, we know what we're all about. I mean, I feel like it's just known. It's just known. We are the known. We're known. We know what we're doing, and we're going in there. And the first rule of our group is safety first.
Well,
personal well-being.
Right. I mean,
protect yourself at all times. You don't protect yourself at all times.
You can only do so much when you're dealing with this type of this business. I mean, you can make sure you're not going to slip down some stairs in the dark, walk into
that's why it's the first rule,
objects.
Because it should be common sense, but it needs to be the first rule.
But you don't
protect yourself at all times, physically and mentally, and spiritually. Absolutely. Because these are powerful things you're dealing with. This is like you don't handle open wires without gloves on.
Mm-hmm. And you want to make sure that above all else, you got to keep your guard up. Do you agree with me?
Yeah. I'm trying to find.
I'm going to share. I mean, I still kind of like the idea of calling ourselves the Serious Individuals. Anybody agree?
Well, that works. That works for me.
And
But
I think it's straight to the
SI.
point. Yep,
SI.
it's kind of like the S and the I, and you immediately think of like the investigators.
SI investigates.
Because we're trying to make it like TV show length, right?
Yes, no.
Could we get some more footage so it adds up? So I want some cuts in between of another. I basically need 1 minute and 1 second each. No. 1 minute 11 seconds each. I need this total sum to be needed to add up.
This is like 111. Is this some?
Three.
Is this a ritualistic type of?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's ritualistic. Yeah.
111.
It's even like
we need three of those. We need. Right? Okay, no. You missed that. We need 3 of those.
Three, like a 1 minute and 11 second intro, a 1 minute and 11 second intermission, and
an intro, intermission, and
11 second outro. I see.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm asking, are we doing this like kind of like how a TV show would be? In extent of like it's.
But no, you know what? I don't even want to compare the two because this is so much more.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you're doing like, unless you want it longer, usually the max amount they would do for like a TV intro is 1 minute.
I mean, the outro was a little drug out there in this one. I mean, that could be 1 minute. It could be.
Yeah, but when people see this, they're not gonna. The outro, the intro, and the intermission, they're gonna think that was genius when they see this whole thing.
I mean, outros are long. You know, credit rolls. They're really long. I mean, 99% of the audience gets up and leaves immediately. I mean, we can still have a long outro, a long intro as well. I don't see the problem with that. If they're you know, we're here to keep the real fans interested, not try to appeal to the bums, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
yeah.
I don't even want to think of the mass TV audience because they're not our audience. We're of a higher plane. We exist on a higher existence, a plane of existence that's higher than everyone else.
Downtown Wilmington is a very historical area, so there's a lot of places like that. There's actually a handful of them here.
Could you get to them safely?
Yeah, they are safe areas to get to. There's usually tours that people do of the area, but you can also get and go inside of them, but you can probably ask if you wanted to do something of caliber where to.
How long do you think you could stay at one of these places?
It's kind of where
indefinitely if it's a hotel, motel that's in operation.
This is going to be one of them. Google considers them, a few of these places, museums, which to an extent they are, but they're really not. This is one of them. Oh, dear God. Nice link, Google. Thanks.
Link you to a crime scene photo at some of these places?
Hold on, repeat. You cut out for me. What?
Did it link you to like a crime scene photo at some of these places?
No. My Google just gave me a hella long link that I didn't need. This is... I'm trying to find it, because I've been around the whole entirety of this before when I was younger. Because they usually do tours and stuff of it, but we could probably try to schedule a time. If whoever... Because I think it's owned by the city. Now,
yeah, if you get a phone number, I think... If you get a phone number, Kyle will call them.
They have a number, but they're closed, so they're not going to... Or they're quote-unquote closed, but there's probably somebody living there.
Alright, well, call them in the morning. And see what you can find out. We'll set this up and we'll get this going real soon because we already got it in kind of post-production. We really want to move forward on it.
I'd more than likely have to call them Saturday morning. I was actually I looked this up. I was actually supposed to be going with a few friends to go to an abandoned insane asylum tomorrow.
No kidding.
Well,
really?
There you go.
Tomorrow.
There you go.
Tomorrow after school, yeah. But of course, they decided, with the one who's driving, asshole, kind of sold me out a little bit and was like, no, we have 2 other people, so I'm kind of mad.
2 + 1 is 3.
No, like, Not like that. It was him, another person, and then 2 other people. Or 3 other people. I lied. I can't count.
That filled the back seat, that's for sure.
There you go, yeah. 5 people, that's a lot of people. Were they
Kinda
couples
pisses me
or?
off. No, they weren't.
You just so happen to be going to an insane asylum tomorrow.
I wanted to, but of course, that won't happen.
Is there any way you can get there?
It's not my own, not on my own, but it's.
They could put you. What kind of car do they have? I assume
it's a Chevy. It's a Chevy Cruze.
Could you?
The trunk
yeah,
is
could you stay
very
in the trunk?
spacious.
Unless
that would be great
get,
footage too. That would be great footage too.
Unless I want to get suffocated and say that I got kidnapped.
There would be. You wouldn't. It's not airtight in a trunk, and I think there's.
Yeah, but
I think they can open up the middle of it.
Likely, they're not just going to take a picture with their phone. I'm sure they got some equipment in.
They're going to get physical footage.
Yeah, definitely have some. They definitely have some equipment in that truck, I'm sure.
Well, maybe you could share it with us then, at least, if they're actually... Well, that's perfect then. If they're going to grab that footage for us, you are sort of our contact with them. If you
to be honest, I'd still want to go myself, though. I'd rather get, like...
I would rather you go yourself as well, because then we could be an active part of it.
You know what I thought, actually?
But at least after they do it, you can share the footage with us, and we can examine that. Which
you know what? I thought of this, actually. Instead of doing, since this one's not technically that far, it's like the town it's in is like an hour and a half out, which isn't really bad. It's like I could get there. I thought we should probably, rather than doing some that are in my like immediate area, because there's not that many of the good ones. We should probably do it to where if we do something in my state, we could go out there and get our own footage of it.
That would be the idea, yeah.
Getting a little lofty here.
Hey guys, I'm back.
How you doing? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. It's been so long since this video came out. Over a year ago, Kyle. I wonder when this episode's going to come out.
Yeah, pretty soon. We're in the final stages here. We're just talking about it right now, actually.
Yeah, we're in negotiation to get live footage from an insane asylum.
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, good news. Discord added video calling with your phone.
Which is what I'm
on. Perfect.
If somebody hears all of this, which is likely because we like to share, we like to stay as transparent as possible. And
the truth is nothing to hide from.
And after hearing all of this, and knowing now that Discord is releasing this video feature,
it's actually already out.
Some will come. I'm guessing some are going to come to the conclusion that we have a partnership with Discord, because they're going to think, why are they pushing this Discord idea so much? Like with their investigation, why do they keep bringing up? They're going to have their laptop sitting there with Discord running. They just they could use anything. Why Discord? And then they are also releasing this video feature, or they have right around the same time. I'm thinking we're going to get called out for having a partnership with Discord and maybe being paid by them, and that's just not the case. But it's going to be hard to get some to understand that. Hey, hey, what are you just being paid off by Discord? What is this? Just some ad? What is this? Some ad? That's what I can already see.
Yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm not going to be afraid.
This would be a decent one. Evergreen Cemetery.
Sounds good. Sounds like a place where there's some dead bodies.
It's actually the oldest one still operating, I think, is what it says. It's, let's see. Yeah, oldest fully operating cemetery with the first burial in 1881.
Oh, wow.
Oh, here's a good one.
Is that where they're going?
That's not where they're going. No.
Where are they going to be going, if I may ask?
I need to ask them the address. I was thinking, I honestly would find it better that if...
Let me ask you a serious question.
I'd kind of enjoy it more if we were to go.
Yeah, let me ask you a serious question. Is there any way you can get a ride to that place?
More than likely, no.
What about a taxi or something? An Uber?
I am broke.
You have a PayPal? Dude, you never heard of Support Small Streamers movement? It's like people just go around donating to small streamers now.
Yeah. Small Streamer Saturday is coming up.
Between working 3 to 4 days a week, and then managing school behind it, I barely get time.
Yeah, you don't know what... You probably just didn't know about the support small streamers movement.
Yeah, I've never properly heard of it. Oh, shit. Hold on. I think I found something. Overriding Ghost in the Ghost of Kingsley Plantation. There we go. Features the state's old plantation house, 23 slave residences, and associated buildings amid a pristine wetland. Okay, I love how I put...
Sounds like a conductive area. Probably a hotbed.
Except this one's in Florida. Wilmington has a bit of things, but not as much as, like, let's say, I remember looking at a bunch of places in North Carolina. There's one that's actually, that borders Virginia and North Carolina, and it's actually a very haunted place.
Have you ever been there?
No, I actually haven't.
You have any plans to go there?
After I looked at it last night, the other night, more than likely I would.
Are you sure? Because it could get fishy. Could get hairy out there.
Yeah, this is...
I'm not even taking it lightly. It's something I've wanted to do for a while.
Do you have a blade? Self-defense item?
I can always get one.
Self-defense training. If not, yeah, definitely get. Yeah.
I can always get one.
I don't want you to rush into this and get hurt. So why don't we go at your own pace, and you tell me when is the earliest you could do this?
Oh, here we go. I got one. One of the biggest, not biggest, but one of the most well-known areas in North Carolina alone in terms of paranormal activity is the Biltmore Estate. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard about it.
How far away is that?
It's in Asheville, which is let's see here. You guys should probably be, depending on where you are again, you'd probably be just a little bit closer than I would be.
Tully, are you going to go out into the field as well?
We have something scheduled, yeah.
Our episode's finally coming together a year after it was envisioned.
Yeah.
So that place where it's at, it's 360 miles away, so just about a little over 5 hours. You said one of you were in Ohio, right?
Yeah, that'd be me.
You wouldn't be closer. I don't think you would be. Depends on where you're at.
Isn't this that? Yeah, isn't this that house? It looks like a castle. Yeah, I remember hearing stories, but this is that one that doesn't actually exist. It's just a rumor.
Which one?
This picture you showed me is a really good. It was like the best prank ever pulled. It's like the biggest. This place doesn't exist. Biltmore
Estate is actually a real place, though.
Have you ever been there?
I personally haven't, but it is a legitimate place.
That's why it's so good. Yes, I remember reading about this.
Well, the castle.
That's great. That's awesome.
And probably isn't.
Yeah, this is like the world's first mass spread fake picture. That's a painting.
Is it? Wait a minute.
This place doesn't exist.
No, Biltmore Estate.
I remember reading.
Biltmore Estate does exist, actually.
I remember reading all about this. There's so many people that say it exists, but they've never been there.
While the picture in its own right doesn't exist, you could actually tour through it. Or not the place doesn't exist, but the picture may be painted, but the place is legit, and you can genuinely tour through the area.
I wonder what's actually there.
Sounds like it could be an estate, or maybe there's nothing. I'm not so sure now.
There's some box of illusions they want to get you to pay for and walk through, probably. I forget. There were multiple theories on how it was, what the motive behind it all was. But it started off as a prank, but turned into a profit. This would actually be a great place for you to explore. If you could even get a shot of the outside of it, proving it exists once and for all.
And it's quoted the largest home in America.
I've got a picture here. This was supposedly taken at the estate, and it is apparently an image showing a spirit in the upper window of one of these side towers. I'm not sure what they call them exactly, but
Oh wow, yeah, this is the one I remember seeing this. This is the one you can see the brush strokes in. If you look to the left, you can see in the left background where it starts to blur out. This pictures must have been shared a little more, but you can see brush strokes in the original.
You're saying that that's just painted? That's not actually a spirit in a window? That's actually just a painting?
Well, the spirit's real, but it is a painting.
It doesn't look like it's painted to me, though. I just can't tell.
No, not from this picture, but I wish I could show you. It's been so long, so many computers ago. I have no idea where it is anymore. I tried to find it.
Plus, this game has been...
I just couldn't find it.
In this game, you know what I'm trying to say. This place has been in a lot of pictures and TV series as well as video games on top of it.
Yeah, it was rebuilt, right?
No, it's still the original one, I believe.
Yeah, but the original one was based on the painting. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The second one they made. Well, the first one actually, based on the painting. Well, I don't know what the motive behind it was.
Well, if I'm obviously not, there's videos that people have done on it too, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I mean, obviously it doesn't exist if you're gonna go there. Is that where you were planning to go?
I mean, it's one of the most known places for activity like that in the state. While there are many other ones.
How easily can you get there? You have transportation.
I would need transportation.
All right.
How much money is a bus ticket there?
That's a good question.
And back. Don't forget about that.
And back, yeah.
I have to look, but I don't personally prefer to take a bus. The city where it's located, it is. Let's see the exact a bit away, just so I'm not tinkering. And let me put the exact address of the place in really quick. Let's see. It's gonna be it's 5 hours and 16 minutes away.
5 hours. That's pretty long.
That is worth.
Yeah, that's pretty long.
To take a bus, it's 11 hours, and I don't really care to take a bus like that, though.
No. Find somewhere closer than this. What about that first place you mentioned?
I mean, I don't know how good it would be for stuff like this, though. Like I said, I've seen shit, but I don't know how good it would be for this place. Or for this, like, kind of thing that we're doing.
Well, we could always script it and make it up.
Yeah, can you get one of your friends to dress up in a sheet, put it over his head, and...
I genuinely have no acting skills for that. It would be easily, it would easily be able to be seen behind that I am just bullshitting it because I have, like, no skills in, like, lying about that kind of stuff.
Well, let's role play. Okay, you're walking in the graveyard.
Pretend you're walking.
Yeah, pretend you're walking. Oh, what's that? What do I see off in the distance? Okay, now switch to you and I'll be the rally.
Well, we gotta kind of add in a little bit more ambience here.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, I still physically can't act.
Here, we're in the distance. You'd hear, like, this is what you most likely, you'd hear,
ooga shaka, ooga shaka.
No, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. No, that's not what you
like, I'm even, like, any form of acting, whether it be roleplay or whatnot, I'm just pure shit at.
You're gonna play the role of the guy walking through the woods, maybe a graveyard, dark out, midnight. In the distance, there's a glow, some sort of glow over the hill.
Oh my god!